If you've ever seen someone hop on your parked bike like it's a carnival ride, call it a donor cycle, and ask if you're in a gang, you already know. Being a biker comes with a special kind of headache. From clueless passengers to drivers who use mirrors purely for selfies, the struggle is real. So today, we're breaking down 15 things that drive every real biker mad. And if you do any of these, yeah, you might be a fake rider. Start your engines. This one's gonna hit a nerve. 15. Revving at red lights. You're sitting peacefully at a red light, engine humming, minding your own business. Then out of nowhere, boom. Some guy next to you starts revving his engine like he's trying to summon thunder or impress the ghosts of Evel Knievel. And for what? Nobody's watching. Nobody's impressed. The only thing you're waking up is the neighbor and possibly a few pigeons. Look, we all love the sound of a good exhaust note, but there's a time and place, and a red light next to a preschool is not it. If your bike's loud, great, let it purr. You don't need to announce your presence like a broken fire alarm. Subscribe if revving at red lights annoys you, and comment with the dumbest rev you've ever heard. 14. Not waving back. The biker wave. It's our unspoken code, our low-key "what's up," the sacred salute shared between riders across miles of open road. A simple two-finger flick that says, "I see you, respect," but then you toss one out and nothing. Not even a nod. Just cold robotic silence. It's like holding out a high five and getting left hanging in slow motion. Look, we're not asking for a standing ovation, just basic biker decency. If you ride and can't muster a tiny wave, you're not mysterious, you're just rude. Don't be the biker who kills the vibe. Give the wave. It's tradition. 13. Calling it a donor cycle. You want to insult a biker instantly? Just drop the phrase donor cycle. It's the go-to line for people who think they're being clever. But really, it's just ignorant and tasteless. Motorcycles aren't ticking time bombs, and riders aren't walking organ banks. Would you joke about seatbelts to a car crash survivor? Didn't think so. We know the risks. We accept them. We ride because it's freedom on two wheels, not because we have a death wish. So keep your grim punchlines to yourself. Call it a motorcycle, a bike, even a beast. But leave the donor jokes in the trash where they belong. 12. Assuming bikers are in gangs. Throw on a leather jacket, strap on a helmet, and hop on a motorcycle. And suddenly, you're starring in someone's personal episode of Sons of Anarchy. The stereotype is real. People assume you're in a gang, part of some underground crime ring, or at the very least, have a rap sheet as long as your exhaust pipe. But here's the truth. Most bikers are regular folks. We're teachers, dads, nurses, IT pros, just people who happen to love the open road. We're not running from the law, we're running late for brunch. So relax, Hollywood. It's a Harley, not a heist. 11. Saying bikes are cheap. Nice toy. When you're getting a real vehicle. First off, this toy costs more than your car and turns better than your opinions. Motorcycles aren't budget cars. They're performance machines built for passion, not price tags. 10. Tapping helmets. There's something about helmets that turns certain people into toddlers in a museum, compelled to touch what they absolutely shouldn't. Look, this isn't a toy, a novelty, or a bongo drum. It's our most critical piece of gear. That helmet is designed to protect our skull at 70 miles per hour, not to entertain your curious fingers. Tapping it is not only annoying, it's flat out disrespectful. Would you tap a firefighter's helmet? No? Then keep your hands off ours. Treat it with the respect it deserves, or prepare to get mentally blocked harder than a spam call at 2 a.m. 9. Why don't you get a car? Ah yes, the classic question from the uninitiated. Why don't you just get a car? Well, because driving a car feels like sitting in a box. Riding a bike? That feels like flying with your feet on fire, in the best way possible. We don't ride to save money or because we're short on options. We ride because every twist of the throttle turns the world into a playground. Traffic becomes optional, parking becomes effortless, and every ride feels like an adventure. So no, we don't need a car, we just don't want to settle for one. Hit subscribe if you ride by choice, not necessity. Drop your best comeback to, why not get a car? 8. Sitting on someone else's bike. There's a special kind of rage reserved for that moment you walk out and see some random stranger perched on your bike like they own the place. No ask, no eye contact, just full-on butt-to-seat entitlement. Newsflash, this isn't a photo booth, and my motorcycle is not a public bench. Sitting on someone else's bike without permission is like jumping into someone's parked car and pretending to drive. It's invasive, disrespectful, and guaranteed to earn you the death stare of a lifetime. Look, admire, compliment. But unless you've been invited, keep your cheeks off the seat. 7. Passengers who can't sit still. Having a passenger can turn a solo cruise into a shared adventure, unless that passenger treats your bike like a yoga mat in a wind tunnel. Fidgeting, randomly shifting weight, leaning the opposite way in a turn, or worse, trying to hop off while you're still rolling? That's how rides turn into a rescue mission. Riding with someone isn't a passive thing, it's teamwork. So here's the golden rule. Sit still, hold on, follow the lean, and don't try to dismount like it's a game show challenge. Trust your rider, or just call an Uber. 6. Saying riding is easy. Riding a motorcycle? That's just like a bicycle, right? Yeah. If your bicycle weighs 500 pounds, goes 120 miles per hour, and responds to mistakes by launching you into the stratosphere, riding isn't just a casual cruise down the block. It's a full-body workout in awareness, coordination, and control. You're balancing torque, traction, traffic, and time, all while staying visible to drivers who apparently think mirrors are optional. It's not something you just do, it's something you learn, respect, and constantly practice. So no, it's not like riding a bicycle, unless your bicycle comes with horsepower, adrenaline, and a real chance of road rash. 5. Tailgating motorcycles. Tailgating a motorcycle isn't just inconsiderate, it's downright reckless. Unlike cars, we don't have bumpers, airbags, or the luxury of absorbing your mistake with a minor dent. If you tap us, we're not dealing with scratches, we're airborne, and you're calling an ambulance. Motorcycles can stop quicker than most cars, but that won't help if you're glued to our exhaust pipe. Give us space, a lot of it. Respect the fact that we're exposed and vulnerable out there. If you're in a rush, take a deep breath or prepare to memorize our brake lights up close. It's safety, not optional courtesy. Subscribe if tailgaters drive you nuts. Comment with the closest call you've had from someone riding your rear wheel. 4. Parking in motorcycle spots. You see that clearly marked spot labeled motorcycles only? Yeah, that's not a suggestion. It's a designated space for bikes that don't take up a full parking stall. Yet somehow, every week, there's a compact car, delivery van, or someone's grandma's SUV squeezed in there like it belongs. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. When you park in a motorcycle spot, you're not just being lazy, you're disrespecting riders who have nowhere else to go. These spots exist because bikes need unique accommodations, not because they're leftovers. So be a decent human. Park where your vehicle fits, not where your ego wants to squeeze. 3. Saying it's too dangerous. We've all heard it. Aren't motorcycles dangerous? Thanks, Captain Obvious. It's like telling a skydiver the ground is hard. Yes, riding has risks, just like driving, crossing the street, or dating someone who still texts their ex. We know the dangers, we accept them, and we ride because it makes us feel alive, not because we're on some reckless thrill-seeking spree. We don't need the horror stories, the statistics, or your cousin's neighbor's traumatic scooter crash. If safety was our only priority, we'd stay home and collect stamps. We choose the ride, because life's better with bugs in your teeth. 2. Calling it a phase. It's just a phase, right? You'll grow out of it. No, Karen, this isn't a teenage rebellion or a passing obsession like frosted tips or fidget spinners. Riding a motorcycle isn't a phase. It's a lifestyle, a commitment, and in many ways, a form of therapy on 2 wheels. We don't ride to look cool or rebel against society. We ride because it fuels something deep in us. The sound, the freedom, the connection to the road, it's addictive in the best way. So no, we won't grow out of it. We'll grow older doing it, with more miles, more memories, and better gear. 1. Being a style over substance rider. And here it is, the ultimate red flag. The rider who's all look, no ride. You know the type. Buys a bike for the gram, wears a leather jacket once a month, and has no clue where the oil goes. Can't name their engine type, doesn't wave back, and still thinks a clutch is optional. Look, there's nothing wrong with liking the aesthetic, but if you're more focused on matching your outfit than checking your tire pressure, we've got a problem. Being a real rider means more than posing. Respect the ride, learn the craft, and please, at least know where the kickstand is. So there you have it, 15 things that make real bikers want to scream into their helmets. If you found yourself nodding, laughing, or quietly rage flashing back to one of these moments, you're not alone. And if you're guilty of 1 or 2, hey, we all start somewhere. Just don't sit on someone else's bike again, alright? Got your own biker pet peeves? Drop them in the comments. I want to hear the rants. Smash that like button if your throttle hand has ever twitched in frustration, and subscribe for more moto truths, laughs, and life on 2 wheels. Until next time, ride safe, ride proud, and keep the rubber side down.